going to record as from this moment on, because I've got something important for you to share. And many people who know me know that I've already said this to you before anyway. I said mind come first, before your strategies, before your websites, before your branding. Everything starts in the mind first. And this was pinpointed out when we were at the event, that we had Bob saying it, and also this wonderful woman, Catherine, as well, that it's, now let me get this right, I think was it 90, it was either 90 or 95% mindset and 5% strategy. That's what you want to be doing, because your results all come from the mind. And many of them were mapping out strategies and all of these different ways that they were going to build their businesses and everything. And then,
sorry.
Oh, I've gone and muted you, Sarah, just in case there was anything else that was crashing down. And then in comes this woman, like she just floats in, just all nice and calm. And she earned 200,000 that week. And guess how she did it? She followed TIR. She made a decision that this was how it was going to be. And she visualized. She just kept on using her imagination. She kept visualizing. She just kept entering into the spirit of it. And then it's like, oh, there's an idea. She's really soft in her approach, and she really is like this person that just kind of like floats. But, you know, then she had an idea to do this thing. And that idea just brought her so many people. She's simply choosing what she wants the whole way through. You know, she noticed that she started attracting clients that weren't her ideal people. So she was like, do I go in and start changing all of the ads that I've got running? Well, no, I'll just create it in my mind. What are the people? So she didn't change her ads. She changed what was going on in her mind. And all of a sudden, a flood of clients that she was picturing in her mind started turning up. It's okay. Granny's house is like mine. So that's like one of the most important things that I want you to know, that when you're going to be building your businesses, no matter what business you are building, that always put you top priority. And by you, that is your mind first. You do that work, and that is what is going to bring you results. And it's this thing that's going to bring you results that will exceed your wildest dreams, because you're coming from that space first. People knew that I was passionate about this work before anyway. But with what I've seen, being away at that week and listening to other people, and they're not trying to sell this program. Like, I'm not trying to sell this to yous anymore. Yous are in here. You do this. And oh my God, the results yous are going to get. The only question truly is, what do you want? What do you really, really want? That's the only question. So that's where it's like, I've stepped out and I've seen that, you know, with people, when they really do this work every single day. I mean, I know myself, and I'm waiting for a few other things to be put into place, and then I'm going to share more of my story. But I know myself how I grabbed onto these materials coming from a place that I was in, and I grabbed onto the materials and I just put them into practice, the shifts that I've taken in my life. But then I'm seeing so much more of it. And that's why I'm just like, please listen to me. through this. I'm not going to be there to, every single day to pick you up. This is where you've got to be empowered within yourself to build that devotion, to say that, do you know what, I am doing my TIR work every single day, and I'm not going to let anything stop me. So every day you do that. Now, we are going to start with the lesson, just as my dog decided to start yapping away. And share screen. There we go. Right, everybody, welcome to the beginning of this journey, which is Thinking into Results program. Does that sound a bit cheesy? Probably does. Right, okay, so you all know me by now. I am Brianna Black, and today we are going to be going over lesson 1, which is a worthy ideal. So I really, really, really love this lesson. Now, this is something that is huge, and I'm excited for you to be doing this, to go through this with you. It's like you've been doing the prep work for this section right here and now, and you are really, really, really ready to rock this now. Now, Bob's been studying this material for over 57 years, and this is where they have put all of this together to build this incredible journey. Now, I know that this is just the first module from the full TIR course, but it is an extremely powerful one that can have you transformations from the get-go. This is about you, what you really want, your goals, your growth, and your results. Now, I remember Bob standing up on stage the other night, and he was talking specifically about this program, and that is what he said. He says, everything that I've studied, and he says, I've put this to test, so he's not just put things together on what he knows, he's also tested it with people that were in dire situations, people that were in prisons, people that were homeless, people that were really in dire situations. So he's put this to test. He's not just sent out there just by his own thoughts. They have tested this first. And as he went and said, he says, you do what is in this program and you will get results. He says he knows if people aren't really doing this work because the results tell. He knows this stuff works. He doesn't have a shadow of a doubt in it. He knows that what he has given you here through this journey absolutely works, and it works every single time when people really do apply it. So this is where you always want to check in with yourself and just say to yourself, right, okay, these aren't quite the results that I'm wanting. Let's just look at things a different way, but also just really be aware of the distractions that come up in life. And I want to share with you another example, which is Mary Morrissey. Now, she was doing, she went to Bob and things weren't great in her life. She was going through a really bad divorce, even though she'd been studying these materials for, I think it must have been about like 15 years or something like that, 10 years. And the divorce was really, really bad, and her husband was getting into a lot of trouble and things like that. And she went and said to Bob, she was talking to him about it, looking to get some advice. And he says, I think you should go and read The Science of Getting Rich. And she's like, I've already read that. I know that. I teach that. And he says, well, you might have read it. He says, but you don't know it. And instead of her getting insulted with that, she was like, okay, right, well, thank you for pointing that out to me. So he gave her a couple of chapters that she was to read over, and she was committed to doing that. There was 3 chapters. She would do like some in the morning, some at night. And she was to do 90 days of doing this without missing a day. If she missed a day, she had to start from the beginning again. And it got to day 57. And when it got to day actually 58, she suddenly realized, oh my God, I didn't do it yesterday. But she completely wasn't even aware. It wasn't like, oh, I'll do it later or anything like that. It was simply like it just did not enter into her mind. It's like as she was about to make that breakthrough, her paradigm stopped her from doing what it was that was going to bring that breakthrough. And she went and said that that gave her a whole new realization of the importance and the power of the paradigm. So what she did was she took action from that, and she put post-it notes all over the place reminding her to read these chapters, to read them. So and of course, you know, she succeeded with that. But I wanted you to know like the power of the paradigm and how it will really attempt to stop you in making that breakthrough. The limiting paradigms, because we do have positive paradigms. So it's just about being aware of that, and you know, put notes everywhere reminding you of this to catch you out with it, that you are going to definitely do this work. So you truly do have all of that power within you right now. Now it's already there, just waiting for you to unleash it and use it. That is what I want this next week to be about for you. You know, I've spoken to you about the importance of belief, that, you know, that is the main thing that really holds you back. It's believing in your power and believing in your ability, and sometimes believing in your worth. But for now, begin to program that you trust in your power, believe in your power, and immerse yourself in this truth. The more that you study this, the more that you are building that belief in everything. So a few things that we are going to go through just to allow our calls to run smoothly is, the first thing that you want to do is to make sure that you're fully prepared before getting started. You don't want to have to search for anything, so have the participant guide with you, which is your workbook. Also, I would guide you to have a pen ready and a notebook, because many times if we are sharing or we're going through this journey together, there will be things that will come up that will benefit you. Sometimes somebody will ask a question and you suddenly realize, oh my God, that was the answer that I was looking for. Or something just might come up that you didn't quite see before, and you're like, oh my God, you know, that's exactly what I was needing to hear. So you want to be noting this down. You also want to silence your phones and shut down all social media so that you are fully focused on this group and also on what we are doing here. So do your best not to have distractions. And as I've said before, the calls are for you only. I don't mind children because, you know, I'm a mum. I know that children will pop in. Just, you know, you could probably pop in your earphones if your partners or your friends are there. Again, I actually don't mind if you've got your partners there. If they are willing to do this work with you, heck yes, get them on board. You know, but just so long as they're connecting into what they truly want and not what you want, you know, so understand that they have their wants, you have your wants, And for this to work for them, it's about them really, really connecting into themselves and allowing that to be unleashed. But if there's friends about or you're in a busy place, just please pop in your earphones, because these calls are private for all of you that are going through this materials. And also as well, you know, there could be people that are sharing things that are quite personal, and, you know, we really just want to, I always say that from the get-go, that all of these calls, and this is what I powerfully put out there, that anybody that watches this replay, that connects with these calls, that is on this journey, that's in our community, that, you know, we keep that in our community, we keep that confidentiality. We're building these relationships, so it's just really good. Just pop in some earphones. Now, my work as a consultant is to guide you through this journey and also open up for conversation so that you ask any questions that you would like. Now, while I am talking, feel free to jot the questions in the chat box, and then when I break, I will have a look and get you on to chat. Also, I would ask you to review the very first pages of your study guide. So just always make sure to have the lesson that we're on with these calls, and that you've got it to hand with you. You might even want a highlighter. There might be some things that you want to highlight through it. So just have that ready as well. Right, so our call agenda for tonight. We are going to be introducing lesson 1, a worthy ideal. Now, I'm also adding something extra in here for our journey together. We're going to be covering some of the key points for this lesson, and I'm also going to be talking to you about the worksheets that's in lesson 1, and then we will wrap up. So, Entering into the Spirit of It by Thomas Howard. Is it Howard? For some reason I thought it was Troward, but okay. So this is a bonus exercise that we are studying with Bob, and you know, I thought this came in at the perfect time for the journey that we are just about to start on here tonight. So I highly recommend, and this is your choice, but I made the decision that I am studying this chapter every single day, as well as my other things. So I would really, really guide you to study this chapter also. Being on this journey it's going to take that devotion. You are used to thinking in a certain way and allowing those thoughts to rule your results. This is time for you to take control, because when you do, that is when you will truly see results. So really watch your thoughts very closely. You'll always be able to tell the train of thoughts by the results that you're having in your life. And that's when it gets really, really good, you know, because when you don't like the results, you know that you can look within and just change the thoughts. But you will see more on this as we progress. So what I want you to do is to become one with your goal, with your dream. You're really entering into the spirit of what we are doing, what you are doing. You can't keep going over the same old story and expecting new results. And I mentioned before as well, your perception has everything to do with what you will receive. Really, really, really important. And, you know, I completely put my hands up to me discovering the importance of this, like my perception on something, and that was what I was getting, that was the results that I was getting. And when I started owning that and I started shifting, I started, looking at me, that I was the creator. That's when things started shifting for me. So you can get results from this, absolutely. And when you're not getting the results desired, you simply look within yourself, look at the train of thoughts. And it's not even that the train of thoughts were from yesterday or today. It might have been a month ago. So don't beat yourself up too much if you get something that you don't like and you're like, oh, but I've been doing this and I'm getting good at it. Well, look at maybe about a month ago or 2 months ago. Was there a train of thoughts that you were thinking that brought certain things into your life? And at least you know now that, well, you know what, I know my power. I can see how that happened. I can see where I was. And instead, it's you bring your focus and attention into building the thoughts and to build what you do love. But this lesson, entering into the spirit of it, I want to do an actual video solely on this lesson, because everything starts from in spirit. And when you're reading it, you might not fully get it straight away, but still keep reading it, because the more that you do, your awareness is going to shift. And all of a sudden, you will see things that you just didn't quite get before. All of a sudden, you start to truly understand it. So you really, really want to get honest and make the shift. If you think it's hard, it will be. If you think it's easy, it will be. You choose. Now, Bob stood up on stage and it was really, really, really good. This was a powerful thing that he went and said. So somebody went and asked him, is there a faster way to change paradigms? Does it have to be such a long journey to change paradigms? And Bob just sort of paused for a moment and he says, what was it? In your belief, it is so. And even he went and said, he says, that just came to me, so there you go. In your belief, it is so. If you believe it's going to take long, then it will be. But if you believe you're going to get phenomenal, fast results, then it will be. So always check in with that one. And I want to talk a little bit more about entering into the spirit of it, because this is so important for you and your success. I'm just going to, we talk about having this ready. It would have been good for me to have this bit ready. There's a chapter in entering into the spirit of it, and what Bob is talking about is that everything starts with spirit, and that when you go within yourself, when you think of entering into the spirit of it as okay, I'm going to get excited about this and I'm going to enter into the spirit of it, and it's actually so much more than that. It's when you are really tapping into spirit, you are creating, you're allowing that energy to flow through you. And when, instead of looking at the mechanical, like the strategy, the action steps and all of that, we normally go to that first, instead of realizing that, well, everything starts from spirit. Everything starts from the mind. So you want to really be entering into the spirit of it. You want to be creating. You want to enter. It's not up, because we know that it's not up, but it's that way where you're kind of like programmed that spirit is up and we're down. But so if you think to yourself that you go within yourself, like I've been guiding people to do the meditation, visualization, where you're really connecting with your heart and you're going up and you're creating. Well, this is what this is to do with. So, you're creating in spirit first, And then what's going to happen is you're moved into action from that space. So you're intuitively being guided with the correct actions to bring the results desired. So that when you've entered into the spirit of things, into your vision, into your passion, into your dream, it energizes you. It really energizes you, and it moves you into that proper action that's going to bring you the results to bring this into a reality. So with everything that you're doing, no matter what it is in your life, you make sure that this is your main practice in life, that several times throughout the day, not just once, several times throughout the day, you are pausing, you are entering into the spirit of it. If you start to feel things are a struggle, if you start to feel things are not quite fitting together the way you want them to fit together, or that things are starting to become a little bit hard, this is where I want you to step back, and I want you to do this. I want you to really go within yourself, go up to your creation, I call it a creation center. That actually came to me when I recorded that meditation, that it's a creation center. But you're going to spirit, and you are creating the results you want. You're living in that reality, because when you've asked for something, it's already created. It's just on a different vibrational level, but it is here, it is now, it is so. And you're stepping into that vision. You're really being in the spirit of this vision, of your dream, of your goal. You're allowing yourself to feel it, to see it. You're using your senses, and you're allowing it just to all pour through. You're to be there. And then that's going to re-energize you again, and you will find the solutions. You'll find the answers. You'll find the right people just start coming to you. The connections you make, the journey, it's truly like magic starts unfolding in your life. It is amazing. Now, one of my favorite sections that I outlined in this is affirm this continually in your thoughts, and by degrees, the affirmation will grow into a real living force within you, so that it will become a second nature to you, and you will find it impossible and unnatural to think in any other way. And the nearer you approach this point, the greater you will find your control over both body and circumstances, until at last you shall so enter into the spirit of it, into the spirit of the divine creative power, which is the root of all things. That in the words of Jesus, nothing shall be impossible to you, because you have so entered into the spirit of it, that you discover yourself to be one with it. Then all the old limitations will have passed away, and you will be living in an entirely new world of life, liberty, and love, of which you yourself are the radiating center. You will realize the truth that your thought is a limitless creative power, and that you yourself are behind your thought, controlling and directing it with knowledge for any purpose which love motives and wisdom plans. Thus, you will cease from your labors, your struggles, and anxieties, and enter into that new order where perfect rest is one with ceaseless activity. You'll hear me talking about doing things in the effortless way. And this is how you do things in the effortless way. You're really starting to work with your powers. Now, you're programmed to look at the present results, or either that you are going over the past results. And you can glance at the present results so you know where you are, but you must stop allowing present results to dictate what your new results will be. And this is so important for you to understand this. Again, it's just about you building that awareness. And as you go through this journey, I promise you, you will start seeing more of this and your awareness will shift. You've been gifted with these teachings, with this knowledge, and yet too many times we'll continue the old story. All of what has been is from an old program. So make the choice that yes, you're going to glance, but then you choose what you now do want. You get your focus on that. You align your thoughts with that, and you do not allow the outside to overtake you, to drag your thoughts down to the old vibration. Forgive yourself and others. Let resentments go, as you will block your desires coming if you hold on to them. Now, this takes practice. And, things will come up and we can go into that old thing where it's like, oh, that person's really bugging me. But just the more that you do this, the more you're quicker to bring things back round. But just understand that if you're holding resentments over anything, absolutely anything, that is blocking what you do want to come to you. So choose to only feed your imagination with what you want to manifest in the physical. And it'll take some grit and discipline with doing this, or devotion, but it works and it's more than worth it. You will get better and better and better at it. Now, the next important factor from the get-go is stop beating yourself up over past results or present. Again, you want the good, then quit it. The BS thoughts that you have running in your mind about you and who you are, just say no more. Again, I know that it takes some time, but you get to choose. Do you want fast results, or is it going to be hard? Is it going to be easy? Let's make it easy on ourselves. But you have got to think to yourself, do I want the same old, or do I really want my goal? So next week, we're going to be talking a little bit more on the self-image side of things as well, because I'm going to include that in, or a lot of you have been going through that already. But the biggest thing for you to affirm is that you are magnificent. You're more than good enough. You were born to do this. There is no coincidences why you are here right now in front of us doing this work. So toughen up on yourself a little bit. There will be ups and downs, law of polarity, but know that it's all good and that you grow. You always choose to seek the good. Now, when you've come into thinking into results, you have already taken things to a totally different level. And you've been handed something that will bring you so much more of your power to the surface. So this is where you really want to start taking control, because with that power, there comes a lot of responsibility. A lot of responsibility, because you have turned things up a notch. Your focus, your energy, your vibration, you have turned it right up. Even when you signed on that contract, when you put your signature right there to say, right, okay, this is it. I'm doing this. This is it for me. You have just taken things to a whole other level before you've even started studying this program. Now you've got that power and you get to choose what you do with that power. And that's why I want you to really, from the get-go with this, see it. Take more control over these thoughts. Really start to be aware, because what you give your attention to, what you're giving your energy to, you're just causing more of that. So to make the old obsolete, you must focus and build on the new. You get to choose. You have got incredible power. You've got incredible creative abilities. Choose what you're going to be focusing on now. Develop I can attitude, not I can't. Right, so I want to talk about why are setting goals so important. And you know, like some people will think to themselves, well, because I need more money, or I need a house, or I need a car, you know, and they'll set their goals and they'll think that that's the why. But actually, the why that's important is because we're forever growing, we're forever evolving. And when you set a goal, the inner work that it takes for you to achieve that goal is bringing more of you to the surface. It's causing you to grow as a human being, as a spirit, as a person. It's causing you to grow. And it's setting proper goals that's going to do that, which we'll go into in a little bit. But if you've already watched the first video, then you'll understand that. You know, it's having that worthy goal that's really going to cause you to grow. You're taking quantum leaps here with your growth. Now, as I said just there, you know, there's different types of goals. You've got your A-type goals, which is doing something that you already know how to do. That's the easy things. And then you've got your B-type goals, which is what you think you can do. You've got like a clear-cut plan, and you know that if you follow that plan that you'll achieve that goal. So it's what you think you can do. Now the C-type goals, that's your true wants, your desires, what you really, really, really want. Your type C goals comes from your fantasies, and they're originated through the effective use of your imagination, entering into the spirit of it. You know, so this is, I always say to people that if you've got a dream or if you've got a goal, you know how many times we're given this idea and we feel it in our heart and it's like, oh my God, that would be absolutely amazing. But, you know, it's just a fantasy in your mind, and we just, you know, too quick to allow our limiting paradigms to come in and say, oh, that's not possible. Can I really do that? Should I? Yeah, do you really? It's going to take some effort to get there. You know, all of the stories that you end up telling yourself. The guys at the Proctor Institute did a video where they made a Muppet of Bob Proctor, but it's, what was it, Perry Dime, his name was, and it's basically, it's like a limiting paradigm. So I'll share that video with you because it's really funny. It'll just basically tell you all the reasons why you can't, you shouldn't, you know, just all of that stuff will come up, and we just let our dreams die. And but when you're doing this, when you set yourself that goal and you choose what you really, really, really want, by entering into the spirit of it, by using your imagination, I mean, really using it in the proper way, so you're connecting to the emotion, you're feeling it, by law, it must manifest. So you want to set goals that are what you really want. This is something that's important to understand. It has to be what you really want, not what you think. You know, I'll give you an example. So Bob was talking about when you reach a certain mark, you get a pin. You know, you get this special gold, silver, or diamond, or stuff like that pin. But is it really the pin you want? Is that what you really want? And I had this discussion as well with another consultant where they were just thinking on the level of you know, you've got to get them focused on the work projects and the work goals. And I remembered the story of Bob and how he built his business came to my mind. And he built his business by this is before he even knew he was going into personal development, but he was sharing and working with his employees with this information. But what he was getting them to do was to focus on what they really wanted. So he would have cleaners working for him, and instead he would be guiding them with this and getting them to focus on, they might have wanted a new house, they might have wanted a car, they might have wanted, this amazing holiday with their children or with their partner. So he was getting them to focus on that while they were working, doing their cleaning jobs. And that's what grew his business to $1 million company that operated all over the world. Because it wasn't just getting them to work with, right, we must get so many offices or have so many clients. Instead, he was getting them connected to, well, why do we want that? What is it that you really, really want? So that's something that I want you to look at with your C-type goals, is that for this to really work, and as you go through this, more will be revealed to you. So don't worry if you've not got it fully clear in the beginning. But this is something that I want to say to you, is to really connect with what it is that you truly want. And that is going to make some massive shifts for you. So, success is the progressive realization of a worthy ideal. Now, the reason that we call this lesson a worthy ideal is because of Earl Nightingale's definition of success. And I love this definition. I always remember when I heard this years ago when I first started studying with Bob, and all of a sudden it just brought a realization for me. So he says that success is the progressive realization of a worthy ideal. Now think about what that means. Progressive realization of a worthy ideal. Now, Bob Proctor says that this is the best definition of success that he has ever seen. So let's say you want a new relationship, a new home, or you want to start a business. If you set that goal and you move towards it, you're already successful. It's not that you have to achieve it to be successful. It's progressively moving towards the goal. That's what success is, and I love that. So many people think they're not successful until you reach the goal. But the purpose of setting a goal isn't just to get the house or to start the business or to have that thriving business. The purpose of a goal is to grow, is to bring more of you to the surface. So you're already successful. Now, as you're going to go through this program, working your way towards your goal, you're growing and often making quantum leaps in your growth. That should say he or she is not one to sit back and let life happen. I could actually do with creating a new image for that. So, you're working your way towards your goal, and you're growing and often making those quantum leaps in your growth. And I'll share with you, because we're going to be talking about you writing your goal every day. We're talking about you visualizing that goal, and I've actually got a quantum leap exercise which you can use as you're doing that, and it will just tie everything together. So it's, you'll be successful right from day one. Then it's just going to get better and better and better. When you think about it, when you start affirming, oh, I am a success, what do you think is going to start happening? Now, better is a good word. A really, really good thing to do in the morning is to say, you wake up and you're like, do you know what? This is the best day of my life, and tomorrow is just going to be even better. So you just keep on doing that so that every single day it's better. Now, thinking into results is based on more than 50 years, as we've already said, of dedicated study and research that shows people step by step how to keep moving towards and how to achieve the kinds of goals that they've previously only dreamed of. Now, you're definitely going to have doubts because you've fallen short of achieving your dreams before. The entire program is based on the laws of the universe. It's not subject to whims of fortune. Your potential is not defined or limited in any way by your previous results. Now, that's really important. When you study the lessons and you do the exercises, your results can be predictable. That's what Bob always says. He's like, he never ever looks to see what he can get out of life. He says that's a shallow way to live. Instead, he creates the results that he wants. He doesn't think on what he can get. He just thinks to himself, what do I want to create? So, what you really want to be thinking on is, what is your goals? This is where I want to ask some of you, have you set your goal? Does it excite you? Does it scare you? Are you trying to figure out the hows? Is it what you really, really want? And I'm just going to open things up. Is there anybody that wants to raise their hands to share? Have you set a goal? Thomas Troward, yeah, I thought that. Jane, have you got your... Yeah, okay. I have to go down sometimes with the videos to see everybody.
Hello,
okay.
my lovelies. Thank you. Two things. There's a question I posted in the chat, which was, is changing beliefs, or my beliefs, as simple as making a decision to change them? Because just something you said, I thought, is it that simple? Do I just decide, or is it, because it's that bit about how much hard work I make things. If I choose to change my beliefs now, or do I have to choose to work on changing my beliefs? So that was one question. And the other thing, just you asked about, have I, that question about what's goals, have I made them, do they excite me, do they belong to somebody else, what do I really want? I've just written down here that, yes, I've set new goals, but I haven't got beneath the why do I want that end result. So not just I want to achieve this amount of income, pay off the mortgage. What is that going to achieve? So I need to go back and refine that why. What's the purpose behind that goal to engage? So I realised that's where there's been a goal and I've got it, but I haven't connected with the emotional bit about what that will give me in my life and the life of my loved ones. So that's what I need to really define more clearly, and I'm going to do that as I go to sleep tonight, and then again in the morning, and then every day. Thank you. But you could answer the other one as well. Thank you. Bye-bye. I'm unmuting
now. She always does that. Okay, I'm unmuting now. Yeah, so that second bit about the why, remember that exercise that I gave you about writing out? So it doesn't need to be the same thing. You're just simply, you're creating the memories now you're living your life now. So every night you're going to write in your diary that, oh God, wow, I've just had the best day. And you can talk about your family, you can talk about the experience that you had, that you're already living that goal, that it's already there. So, write in your dear diary of how your day went now that you're living in this life, and what did your day look like? And that could be different each time, so you've already got that income. So how did your day go today? What did you do today? What was the joyous moments? What are you grateful for? And that'll include a lot of your why. And sometimes it will bring tears because you feel the truth in it. And it's amazing. So is changing my beliefs as simple as making a decision to change them? Well, that's where that woman, Catherine, that's simply what she did. She used these materials and she went and said, well, I don't want to do lots and lots of calls. I'm going to make things easy on myself. And she just did a different technique, and boom. She chose what she wanted. She chose the results. And remember what Bob even went and said, in your belief, it is so. If you believe that it's as simple as that, then it is so. That's powerful, isn't it? To think like that.
Absolutely profound. It's been a big shift. Careful shift.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You're welcome. I remember that I got this downloads. For many people that know me, they know that sometimes I have little moments like that. And it was so powerful. I've always remembered it. What if the only blocks that we have are the simple fact that we perceive we've got blocks? It's just the fact that we think we're blocked that makes us blocked. You know, you hear it so many times, people saying, I've got a block, I've got a block, I've got a block. Well, guess what? You get to choose. What if we just choose that we're not blocked? And instead we just create? How much fun would that be? Like, you're getting into the fun and getting into the spirit of things, and you look at life in such a different way, where it's like, oh, there's a result that I don't want. I can see when the trail of thoughts and everything started happening and how that all had a part to play in things. Oh, okay, so what do I want now? It's like, because I create my own reality. And it does, it takes a bit of practice building this up. But I can tell you, when you turn that on, oof, it's like, that's why I get so excited for you, because I know what it's going to do for you. So, does anybody want to share their goals? Does anyone have you grown your goal? Is there maybe something in this where you thought to yourself that, okay, well, I actually want something more? You can wave or unmute yourself to answer. But if not, Jo, you gonna talk?
Yeah, well, obviously I've been speaking to you about running retreats for divorced women. Mm-hmm. And this weekend was my 50th birthday, where I was in the venue that I want to run my retreats in, and just being in it and experiencing it and just enjoying the space and meeting the owner and building a relationship with the owner. Mm-hmm. And all my mates are like amazing chefs. It just felt so real. It just felt like it was just a decision away. Yeah. And so I've already started now just putting it out there a bit and getting some reaction today. So it just felt that my goal is doable. Whereas before it was like, oh, it's a dream, it's a fantasy. That's further down. I need to do tiny steps before it. Yeah. I kind of feel like I don't need to do the tiny steps.
Okay. So it's time to up the goal, maybe?
Yeah.
Because if you've got now a clear-cut plan to get to that goal, it's turned into a B-type goal.
Ah.
That's like, I looked at my goals and I was like, oh my gosh, what was my C-type goal is now turned into a B-type goal. I've got a clear-cut plan on how to do that. Mm. And that if everything works out the way that I've planned it to work out, that I've reached. No, in fact, it well exceeds my goal. The results exceed the goal. So, and the goal I have to move up to is a much bigger goal. So I'm feeling that too. I'm like, because it's a much bigger goal. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I seen that. And also just speak to me afterwards, because I connected with somebody that's to do with your retreats as well. I spoke to somebody, and there might be some collaboration for your retreats, because I was telling them all about your retreat and what you're wanting to do. So,
okay, brilliant.
I will send you that over. Because that's what happens. There's always collaborations and there's always talks that go on. Right, okay, so now, let me just, what I want to ask is, are you doing this? Allowing the how to catch you out, and so that you actually set smaller goals. Going into the how phase limits or destroys the fantasy. It may seem hard to believe, but all the lessons are designed that with the study and the application of what you're learning, the hows will be revealed to you. Like, honestly, please, please, please don't ever limit yourself because you can't see how. You know, I swear to you, you do this journey, you connect with what you really want, and it just starts appearing in your life. The right people just pop into your life, and the ideas that, there was one woman that she went and got an idea, and even though people said, the company will never allow you to do that, you can't do that. But she felt it. She couldn't see how she was going to do it, but she just ran with it anyway. And that brought her millions. So don't allow hows to limit you. The resources, right people, the ideas, the finances, they all come to you. Make this study top priority in your life and you will see results. Now, this is such an amazing quote, and one that is aligned with a strong belief of mine, that we are really here to grow and evolve in using our power. We were made in God's image, and so we are creators. We are here to use this power to sift and sort through the contrast, to grow, to want, to create. We were never here to live a small life. You've just been programmed that way. And it's time for you to rid that and to use your true power. God's gift to us is more talent and ability than we'll ever hope to use in our lifetime. And our gift to God is to develop as much of that talent and ability as we can in this lifetime. So everyone, are you allowing yourself to really go for what it is that you are wanting? And the exercises, as we continue in this week, you may see some shifts in your goals. Is it what your true heart desires, or are you still playing a wee bit small? So, some key points that are in our lesson. We use our imagination to set and build C-type goals. These are things that we don't know how to achieve because we've never gotten that kind of results in our life before. Now, a goal is something that you're going to go after that you've never done before. A goal is designed to help you grow. It causes you to draw something from yourself that you didn't even know was there. And if you know how to reach your goal, the goal is not going to do for you what goals are designed to do. If you're really going to accomplish something, you're going to need to be inspired by going after something that you really want. It's going to have to come from inside. Another reason that they get you to set goals that really you just, your heart is calling you to do, because that's the type of goal that when hurdles hit, and many times they do, you're not going to give up on them. You might fall a little bit, you might pause for a bit, but your heart just keeps calling you to this. And so you're going to get back up and you're going to keep moving towards your goal. Now, the worksheet introduction. So yous are all going to receive an email where in that email there's going to be clear instructions of how we work with this journey, but many of you already know that. So the worksheets are meant as an activity that challenges you to immediately apply the lesson learned. Now, the worksheets are an essential part of Thinking into Results program. Each time you watch the lesson, you should also complete the lesson worksheets. Be sure you are writing out your answers. Well, they've changed that now. It says writing out your answers every single time, but now they say for you to just really be detailed in your answers. You know, really think about what it is that you're putting down there, and then every day just review your answers. Is there anything extra that you're wanting to add on? Is there some new discoveries that you might have made? You know, because as you're on this journey, more becomes aware to you, so you might want to add more into your answers. So that's what I'm guiding you to do. Now, every single day you are going to study the lesson for a week at a time, and we just keep repeating, you know, so we are going through the journey and then we repeat and we're going through it again. So if you imagine your awareness with this, it's like you're continuously leveling up as you're going through this journey. When they talk about goals, you don't reach one goal and then you decide, okay, well, I'm not going to bother going for any other goals because I've already reached this one. You're going to start realizing that you can be more, do more, and you will find your next goal that you're going to want to reach for. So that's where, with the repetitive action, you're always going to be leveling up in your life. So you watch the video. We do guide you to watch the video in the morning when you get up, read your lesson 1, and answer the questions or review the questions. Now, if you look at the back as well, so you may be working in a team, or if you're working by yourself, you'll see that there's individual worksheets and there's team worksheets. So if you're working by yourself, then you only do the individual worksheets. If you're working in a team, then you can do the team worksheets. But when you read past the team worksheets, you'll see that there is a section at the back. And again, it's important for you to read and action what is said at the back there. Many people miss that out. And so I just want to really make that clear, that you read through all of the worksheets, you've got everything organized. Take responsibility for your life. You know, your results are down to you. When you win, that is all because of you. It's not because of me. It's because of you. You're the one that has done this. So make sure to just really go over that and read that. Now, at night time, you only watch the video before you go to bed. So you're not like reading and going through the worksheets at that time. There was somebody that put something up saying that they're more productive at night time than they are in the morning time. So again, so long as you're doing the lesson, so long as you are watching that video and you are taking action with your worksheets and the reading part as well, which is before that, that's what's most important, that you're actually doing this work. So just many times that we'll guide, you know, because first thing in the morning when you wake up, I've guided everybody to have that structure in place so that when you wake up in the morning, you know, you're straight away into action, which is focused on your gratitude, your goals, different things like that. So it's really, really important that first thing in the morning, where your focus and attention is, because that dictates how the rest of your day goes. So that is what I am guiding you to do. You will be sent an email out, which is also mentioning all of this. You want to listen to the audio, because you can also download the audio. So you want to be listening to the audio as well, as often as you can, or you want, if you've got a drive to work or something like that, you can just pop it in. I've just, you know, like I've got a whole new awareness of repetition and how powerful it actually is. You know, so your old paradigm will get you peeved off with listening to this material at times, and know that that's what it is, and to crash through it. Like, I've seen that happening with myself, where I'm like, oh God, I need a break. I don't want to listen to this. And it's all the paradigms, you know, I don't want to listen to this. And boom, it's like, there you go, right there. That's your paradigms blocking you from your breakthrough. So just, you know, just do your best and to really step into this, and that no matter what, that you're doing this every single day, and your results will show. Like, plain and simple, your results will show, and they will exceed your wildest dreams. Okay. So with that, I'm going to check in and see, does anybody have any questions before we start this week ahead? Is everybody clear, and are you entered into the spirit of it? Sarah is. Oh, I know Sarah's on a mission. Sarah's made her breakthrough. She's like, that's it. I'm on it. Amina, how are you? Are you ready for action?
Yes, doing great. Thank you so much. Thank you. Very, very inspiring, Brianna.
You're very, very welcome. Looking forward to seeing you tomorrow.
Yes.
For our meetup. Amina's got wonderful, wonderful, wonderful goals. So excited for her to
it is getting bigger and bigger. It's getting crazy.
That's the best way. It's when you start seeing, it's like, oh, once I thought I could go here, and all of a sudden I could go here. Brilliant. Okay, so is everybody ready for this week ahead? One of the things I would love for you to do is just be supportive in the group, you know, that everybody is supporting each other. If there is anything that you're needing help with, that you reach out and that you ask. The other thing as well that I will be communicating over time, darling, could you go out, please? One of the things that I'll be communicating over time is for you to really be going within and being able to hear within. Out. Out. I'll need to trim this video now. Yeah, it's for you to be getting answers from within, because you all have that ability. That's something that I do. I've written down here, I've written down some questions that I wanted to ask Bob. Like, they just came to my mind, but many times I'll write them down and the answers come to me anyway. So that's something that I want you to be doing. Like with anything, always remember that you're tapped into infinite potential and that you've got all the answers within you. So just use that, but also coming in. Starting Joe, starting again. Jane, love you all and here for you all. Oma, very excited. I have to say a massive congratulations to Oma. She's done so well in her company that they're using her face for all of the billboards and branding as well. So well done, Oma. But next week we'll be sharing more on the wins. Darling, out. Okay. Yes. Right. So everybody, let's get started. And let's see those results flowing.